So we're going to continue with the IPython review, and now we're going to do dictionaries here. So there's some information about dictionaries here that you can read, but we're going to jump into the example. So and copy this here. So that what we've done is we've created two key value pairs using this standard brace notation entry, but we can also use this notation where we specify the key in square brackets and then the value is assigned to that. So then if we look at the dictionary, we can see that we've got now these three key value pairs. And in Python 3, as we saw last time, they've now changed the implementation so that the keys should be in alphabetical order, but we don't want to count on that. So if we want to pull out the value corresponding to a given key, we can type tel square brackets and then that key name. And if we want to delete a certain key value pair, we can use this del command. So now we've removed that one, and we could add a different one here. So now we have three again. And if we want to get just the keys, we have this command called keys. And then we also have this option to check if a given key is in the dictionary. So this would be useful. So if we type, and again we can use our up arrow to go back. So this works, but if we type another key that's not in the dictionary, we're going to get an error. It says key error Bob, which basically means Bob is not a key of the dictionary. So if you wanted to use this kind of notation in your code where you're pulling out the value of a given key, it might be a good idea to first run this and say if key is in the dictionary, then get the value. Because if you don't and the key's not in the dictionary, you'll get an error and your code won't finish. I won't copy these ones here. Well, there's this dictionary constructor, which it's a little hard to see, but maybe I will do it just so you can see the notation. So the nice thing about IPython is you can see it's highlighting the parentheses and brackets. So we're making a dictionary out of a list of tuples, and the tuples are the key value pairs. So that's another way to make a dictionary. Additionally, dictionaries support something similar to a list comprehension. So what we have here is X will be the key, and whatever we're doing to X will be the value. So for X in 2, 4, 6, the value will be X squared. And there's another way we can enter dictionaries that we haven't covered. It's where we can simply, if it's very simple, and the keys are strings, we can say key equals value, key equals value, key equals value, and it will print it out that way. There is a if you want to print out all the values in a dictionary, you can use this iter items function, which will for each key value in this dictionary. So let's see, we have the telephone numbers here. So we can copy this. So I just copied that first line, and so it's saying for a key value in, we're going to change this. Then that's the name of our dictionary, and then iter items, and then a colon. And I'm going to hit enter, and you can see it's going to create a tab. So IPython, just as your IPython notebook, recognizes that when I type for and then some stuff and then a colon, that's a for loop. And so it knows that whatever comes after it is part of the block and has to be indented. So here it's going to indent 4 spaces. And then we can say print key, comma, value. And I'm going to hit enter. So I could enter some more stuff, but if I hit enter one more time, it'll break out of that block and execute it. Okay. This is a Python 3 thing. Shoot. Okay. I'm going to come back to that. It might just be items. Yeah. Okay, so that's been changed. So it's not iter items, it's just items. And so what it's doing here is for each key and value, for each items, which is a key value pair, it's going to separate them. So basically, if we just type this dictionary.items, it's going to give us this list of tuples. So then each one of these, each of these things, so instead of, just to show you, we could have done if we printed that just as a single thing. So the way that these loops work is you have this dictionary, and then when you use this method items, it's going to give you all of the key value pairs as tuples. And so when you make a for loop, it's going to say for each thing in this, give at one at a time. And in this case, we're just printing out each one. So each one of these things is a tuple, and it prints that out. But what we did up above is we said key, comma, value. So we're basically splitting it up. We know that the output of this is a tuple. So if we provide 2 values or 2 variable names, it will separate them to the proper assignment. So I think I'll just mention this, and we won't go through it in detail. But in previous implementations of Python, dictionaries are not specifically ordered. So if we were to create this dictionary in order and then run this same command, the keys and values would be matched up appropriately, but they might not print out A, B, C, D, E. But in fact, I can show you this. So this should work. Yeah, I think this will work. So you could copy entire blocks of code and paste them, and as long as the indentation comes out right, it'll work. So you can see that in Python 3, everything is still in the right order that we entered it in an alphabetical order. But if we exit out of IPython, and then I don't have to. let's see, you would want to type Python 2, but I don't have an environment called Python 2. I'll use this one. You guys would be using Python 2, the one that you made during your last assignment. And if I type IPython, now I'm using Python 2.7. And so if I now paste the same block of code, you can see that in Python 2, they're not in order. So this is what I'm talking about. Going through this dictionary in a previous version of Python, you don't necessarily get the same the order that you entered it in, or alphabetical by keys or anything like that. So if we wanted to make it work in this case, we import this ordered dictionary from this module called collections, and then D is going to be an ordered dictionary instead. And now when we print the values, the key values of that dictionary, now they're in order. So if you need to know that your keys are in a particular order that won't change, you can use an ordered dictionary instead of a regular dictionary.